figures featured in this video can be found at bigbadtoystore.com. Maybe it stems from the love of your absolute favorite anime and reliving some of those amazing childhood moments, or your favorite video game character come to life and now you can recreate those amazing action poses right in your very hand. Or maybe it's the movie that you shouldn't have watched when you were 6, but you did anyway, and as a result is now one of your absolute favorite movies of all time. Whatever the reason may be, as collectors, we all love and appreciate the figures that we have, and we all have our favorites. For me personally, one of the most exciting aspects of figure collecting is the anticipation and excitement of seeing and eventually getting my hands on that new release. So today, we're going to take a look at the top 5 figures that I'm personally looking forward to in 2020. Let's get started. Starting off the list with a very powerful presence is SubZero in his Mortal Kombat 3 rendition by Storm Collectibles. Now, I absolutely love the Mortal Kombat franchise, and when I saw this figure, I absolutely knew that I had to have it. I've actually wanted to start a Mortal Kombat collection for a while, and I've always been a fan of SubZero's classic outfit. However, I missed out on the original release of his classic ninja costume by Storm Collectibles. And despite my best efforts, he is very rare to find, and the prices that he is going for currently on eBay and Amazon are absolutely insane and does not warrant the purchase, which is the primary reason I did not want to miss out on this opportunity, and this figure is a very welcomed release indeed. On a quick side note, my favorite versions of the ninja costumes are from Mortal Kombat X, and I really do hope that in the future Storm Collectibles decides to release versions of Scorpion and Sub-Zero in those costumes. Getting back to the figure itself, what really had me sold, other than the eye-catching blue and amazing sculpt, is his ice effects. They just look really well done with amazing detail, and I think that's what really sold it for me in the end. I cannot wait to hold and review this figure in hand. Sub-Zero is currently available for pre-order at bigbadtoystore.com and is due out in the first quarter of 2020. Number 4 is DC's very own warrior princess, Wonder Woman, and I am oh so very glad that I put off making this list so then that way I can include this figure by Revoltech Yamaguchi on it. As a huge fan of the DC universe, as well as having grown up with the Justice League animated series and having a passion for comic books, it was very difficult not to put this figure higher on the list. And one thing that I absolutely love about the figure is that very reminiscent Jim Lee art style, which when you talk about consistency goes right along with the amazing Yamaguchi Batman. A figure which, by the way, I already have the pleasure of owning and plan on doing an unboxing and review of very soon in the near future. But let me tell you, when you put our dear Dark Knight next to Wonder Woman, oh my goodness, it is bliss. Honestly, I really hope they decide to do the Flash next. Actually, scratch that. We need a villain. I really hope they do the Reverse Flash. That would be badass. Back to Diana, you'll be able to hit all of those amazing poses in the pictures by the looks of it, thanks to the Revoltech joint technology, which is what they're known for, which, judging by the photos, they have done a much better job of hiding. And she comes with a plethora of accessories. Oh my goodness, the accessories with this figure. Now, of course, we're going to get her signature lasso of truth. That much is a given, and it does look really cool. Although by the photos, it doesn't look like it has that much articulation, that doesn't bother me. What I'm personally excited for is these deflection effects. Oh my goodness, these look so badass, and I can't wait to put her in some poses with those. Lastly, she also comes with 3 separate facial expressions, which I believe are really well done, and I believe the eyes are posable as well in each. Wonder Woman is easily one of my top 3 favorite Justice League members, and I can't wait to have this figure, and I can't say that enough. She is definitely going to be one of my first pre-orders, if not the first. Wonder Woman releases in May of 2020, and you can find her on the Big Bad Toy Store website right now. The king of Muay Thai, the mountain of muscle. Sagat comes in at number 3 on the list by SH Figuarts. I've been excited about this one for a while. Sagat is absolutely one of my favorite characters in the Street Fighter franchise, and Street Fighter being one of my favorite fighting game franchises in general. Now, this rendition of Sagat is from Street Fighter V. However, I haven't played it myself personally, but I have played all of the original Street Fighter games for Super Nintendo all the way up until Street Fighter 4. But what really put Street Fighter over the top for me compared to other franchises, even Mortal Kombat, is the animated movie, and this has one of the best opening sequences to date in an anime. Even in a live action movie, I'll go as far as saying that. And whenever I think of Sagat or Ryu, this exact scene is the very first thing that pops into my mind. I already own a fair amount of the other Street Fighter SH Figuarts figures and plan on reviewing them in the near future. However, specifically because of this scene right here and the excitement and nostalgia that it brings to me personally is what makes this Sagat figure that much more of an anticipated release. Now, it is noteworthy to mention that I do know that Storm Collectibles also has a Sagat figure, but because I've already started my Street Fighter collection with SH Figuarts, I would like to continue with this line and see where it goes. Going back to the figure, the articulation, sculpt, and coloration of him look absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to stand him next to Ryu to recreate some of those badass Street Fighter moments. Sagat is also currently available for pre-order at BigBadToyStore.com and is due for release in March of 2020. This next character figure needs absolutely no introduction. Samus Aran, the badass bounty hunter from the Metroid Prime franchise, more specifically Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. The re-release by Figma Max Factory takes in the number 2 spot on this list. And oh, how I have been waiting with great anticipation to get my hands on this version of Samus. Now, I would like to add that I do own the other M version of Samus by Figma, and if this figure is anything like that one in comparison, then I cannot wait to have this one and the other one sitting next to each other side by side on display. Having played both Other M and Corruption, it's very difficult for me to pick between which suit I like more. However, both can be appreciated in different aspects, but overall, the sleek design of both is definitely an eye-catcher. I will also say that possibly because I already own the Other M figure, I'm more looking forward to and leaning towards the Corruption figure of Samus. But having both is definitely going to be helpful in terms of making some comparisons. Now, on a quick side note, I still also need to get the Zero Suit version of Samus from Figma as well to go along with this one, and once I have all three, my Super Smash Bros collection will nearly be complete. That's right, if you are anyone who is building a Super Smash Bros collection or already has one, then you definitely need to have this figure as well on your roster. And as a completionist, that's probably the number one reason why she's on the list, other than the fact that I am a huge fan of bounty hunters in general. In fact, I enjoy her design so much that she almost had the number 1 spot. Samus is currently available for pre-order and release is February of 2020. The mortal that even a god of destruction can't defeat, Jiren. This February release by SH Figuarts is an absolute must-have, and it's the number 1 figure that I'm out to get in 2020. Jiren is an absolute badass and a spitting image in this rendition of what he looks like in the series. I mean, he takes on Goku and Vegeta and just says, bring it. How much more badass can you get? I've mentioned a lot of franchises in this list, but Dragon Ball in general is my absolute favorite anime, fighting game, everything. And this figure of Jiren is just incredible. He looks exactly like he does in the anime, and that is huge. And speaking of huge, he is such a beefcake. The entire concept of the character design behind Jiren is something that I absolutely love. I love his backstory. I love what he had to go through to get his power, and the fact that he's not a Saiyan and he's as powerful as he is one of the main reasons why he's number 1 on the list. But the figure itself looks absolutely incredible. I can't say that enough. The incredibly well done proportion of the figure, along with the very detailed muscle separation and what looks like to be a matte finish for the 3 implemented colors of the red, the black, and the white, really make this figure pop, and it is a real eye catcher in my opinion. Now, unfortunately, there's no real way of knowing if the figure is actually going to be as good as it looks until I actually have it in hand, but it is definitely the most anticipated figure that I can't wait to get my hands on and review for 2020. It is very unfortunate that pre-orders for Jiren are currently sold out, which is why I will be extra mindful to pick up my copy of this amazing figure when the official release drops. If you are a fan of Jiren, and if he's one of your favorite characters like he is mine, I absolutely suggest that you keep an eye out for him, because you definitely don't want to miss out on this amazing figure. Alright guys, that'll do it for my top 5 most anticipated figures that I'm looking forward to collecting in 2020. But I am curious, what figures on the list were your favorite? Or maybe you have a completely different list. Or maybe you would rate the figures on this list completely differently than I would. Let me know in the comments. Also, in addition to commenting, don't forget to sub, like, and share the video because that will definitely help the channel grow and is something that will be very much appreciated. Hit that little notification bell and follow me on Instagram and Twitter for whenever I do post a new video so you guys can stay up to date. And the links for anything that I mention will also be in the description. Lastly, don't forget to check out BigBadToyStore.com for all of your figure collectibles, because whether you're a fairly new collector such as myself or someone that's been collecting for a while, they probably have all the franchises and brands that you're looking for to start your figure collecting journey or to keep collecting. Really hope everyone enjoyed the video. Have a happy and safe new year, and I'll see all you guys in 2020.